We are very pleased to be joined by three-time major champions, Jordan Spieth. Jordan, welcome to what is your 9th career PGA Championship. I believe you have just been alerted as to your pairings for tomorrow. You'd be with Webb Simpson and Will Zalatoris. So thoughts on playing with those two, and especially I'm curious when you became aware of Will, and I know you're both from around the same area there in Dallas.
Yeah, I was paired with Will last week. So that'll be, and we play at least a couple times a week together at home and games and stuff like that. Good pairing. Webb's, I mean, if you ask me what's the best pairing you can get, for me, I'd say Webb Simpson. I love playing with Webb, always have. It's been a while. So, yeah, very excited about that. Known Will since he was probably 9 or 10, played junior tournaments and then into high school and stuff like that. And he and Scotty Scheffler being the two, around that age in Dallas that kind of figured, eventually, whenever that would be out here and successful. And so, to no surprise, we're seeing that out of both of them, and which is awesome. It's fun to watch. It's always cool. Like I've mentioned a lot of times in these interview rooms when I've talked about our class of 2011 in high school, it's just really cool to kind of grow up with somebody and kind of watch how everyone's path is a little bit different. And then they get out here and just kind of watch the confidence grow. And you can obviously see that with Will and Scotty and a number of the young guys.
It's a good grouping. Let's open up the floor here. Let's start with Doug. He's on number 3.
Realizing, Jordan, that you never get to where you want to go in the game. If you look back over the last, say, 6 months, what do you consider the single biggest turning point in getting your game turned around?
I'm not sure if there was a single turning point. I think it was kind of a progression of, finding some feels that allowed me to stand comfortably over the ball and hit a shot under pressure, and then doing that for multiple days in a row, and then having that happen a couple tournaments in a row. So it's back to that Phoenix Pebble time frame where I kind of thought, man, okay, I know it's not where I want it to be, but it doesn't need to be for me to at least tap into how to, contend out here. And I think it was kind of that 2-week time frame that was really big for me.
Let's go to number 7.
I'm curious what it's been like getting ready for a major a month after the Masters, and also what the challenges are, knowing you have 2 more in succession. How has that been different or challenging for you?
I mean, I like it. I like the idea of playing them each month. I've done a very poor job of getting ready for this one. I got COVID and was out about 21 days without practicing, and then came back for a week kind of slowly, and then played last week. So I feel better about where I am now than where I was a month ago, sitting on a couch. But to answer your question about the timing, the quick timing of it, it's I personally like it because, if you're working to peak for Augusta, and you're in form there, you're just trying to fine-tune things through the rest of that major season, and a lot of times it stays that way. So, I mean, if you're betting on yourself, you like them closer together, and then you just go out and perform. So they're obviously, they all play very different from each other, all 4 majors, with this one and the U.S. Open being probably most similar, but can still be massively different depending on which court. Like this year, they'll be so different the way they play. But a lot of times they're just big, long golf courses with heavy rough. And so, yeah, I mean, I like it the way it is with the major schedule now, for sure.
Polled your colleagues. Would most of them, you think, have the same opinion as you?
Yeah, and I think maybe because it just opens up a lot of different golf courses if you're playing this in May versus August. You kind of have to stay up north. And I think, and then we'll see as we move on the next 10, 15 years where this tournament's going to go. I think you're able to come to, I mean, this place in August, I know they did it in 2012, but I just feel like you get a different variety of a golf course. You could have opposite direction winds, just see almost multiple different golf courses within one. And you can also have the ability to go, to Texas like they're going to, which for me, that's awesome. So if you poll all the players, I would think they would be happy about the way it is, and the idea that we then can finish our season in August, not compete with football, and then create a little bit of an off season for ourselves.
Jordan, we're going to zoom out to Steve. Steve, unmute yourself. You are up with Mr. Spieth.
Jordan, I was hoping to ask a couple of them. In general, what do you think of this golf course, and in particular, and as well as Pete Dye golf courses?
I haven't played a hole yet, so
Okay.
yeah, I'll let you know. We had some weather issues in Dallas, and then got in a little later than expected. But from what I've heard, it's you kind of got to get some good lines off the tees. The areas to hit them aren't extremely narrow, but controlling your tee shots in the wind with some awkward looking tee shots, like hitting kind of towards a tree when the fairway looks like it's somewhere else. So that's kind of the gist of what I've heard off the tee. And then a lot of it being a second shot golf course, having to really control your distances from 160 to 220 in the wind, and being able to hit as many greens as possible with this past Palom. I think getting onto those greens in regulation is going to be very important this week in inevitably windy conditions, being on the water.
Do you like Pete Dye courses?
I do. I really like Pete Dye golf courses. I don't think I've fared extremely well on them because they have to be played with such patience. And when it's a major, I feel like I do a better job of that in general, just kind of getting into the tournament at a more patient level. You don't really see guys, start out shooting, 63 like last week. So I think I just find a better way of being patient. But that's been kind of and just the imagination you have to have around the greens, the tough spots you can get to, and variety of shots that need to be played from there. I think, again, you just have to really, on Pete Dye golf courses, you just got to wait for your chances. I mean, you think something's a good look, but then if you miss it by a couple yards the wrong side, you're really in trouble. So he does a good job of kind of making you kind of think you're in, the A spot. And then all of a sudden, you just barely miss it, and you end up in a tough location to make par. So this week, I think it'll be more about hitting middle of greens and then taking advantage of par fives.
Let's go, Jeff, number 2.
Jordan, as you say, you haven't played it yet, but as you hear coming in how difficult this place is going to play. The wind's here. It's the longest track in major championship history. How do you prepare for that mentally? And do you think players can kind of psych themselves out before they ever get going on a Thursday?
I'm not sure. I can't speak to other players, but for myself, I haven't looked at the length of a golf course since junior golf. I mean, for us, things change. The wind will make 515-yard holes play driver 9-iron, just if it's downwind and it gets firm. I've heard the back 9 stretches to almost 4,000 yards, and then today Matt Jones came to the range and he said, he just kind of let out a sigh. He's like, man, 14 through 18 was all you want today. So I know, obviously taking advantage of the downwind holes and hanging on for dear life into the wind out here. The holes will play obviously much longer when you turn into the breeze, and then much shorter downwind, more so than other golf courses when they can get firm and fast and the ball's going to chase out. So I think picking clubs off tees, picking lines off tees are going to be important, and I would have liked to have seen the golf course a few times, and it just wasn't a possibility this year for me. So going to need to do a lot of good work the next 2 days.
Okay, we're going to zoom out to Dan.
Jordan, you mentioned about trying to peak at majors. How much is the career Grand Slam weighing on your mind this week?
How much is the Grand Slam what? Sorry?
How much is the career Grand Slam
it's not.
weighing on you?
It's not. I mean, I think, as we get into the weekend, if I'm able to work my way into contention, I think it's something that'll obviously be asked and come up, and it's something that I certainly want. But, I mean, you go to a major, and for me at this point, I want to win the Masters as badly as I ever have this year. Didn't happen. I want to win this one as badly as I ever have, and then once you move on to the U.S. Open, the same. Majors are, again, like you mentioned, that's what we're trying to peak for those. And I feel like I'll have a lot of chances at this tournament. And if I just focus on trying to take advantage of this golf course, play it the best I can, and kind of stay in the same form, tee to green, I've been in, all I can ask for is a chance.
Shift back to number 10 back here.
Jordan, you mentioned not playing for a little bit while you recovered. How much did stamina play into the weekend that you had or the Sunday that you had, and then how much do you think it'll play in this week with such a long golf course?
I think it was the sideways driving rain and 20-mile-an-hour winds that played into my Sunday. I just didn't take advantage of the first 8 holes like KH did, but in those last few groups, there weren't a lot of extremely low scores other than his. So I think that was more of it than anything else. But it was a long week for sure, especially first week back. So I was a bit tired, but yesterday, came out and just had a hour and a half, 2-hour, light session just to kind of get the body moving. And I feel good today, so it shouldn't be any issue.
Let's go to Doug. Three ball.
I'm going to assume you don't read a lot of stories about yourself. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Can you, in the last, say, couple years, can you get an idea of what's being said about you based on the questions you get asked?
No. Idea of what's being said about me? Based on, like, being in an interview?
Yeah.
I mean, sure, but unless anyone's been in a similar position, I don't really take it to mean a whole lot because obviously if you study the game, you study players, but the people that I ask and rely on and talk to and vent to are the people that have at least had relatable situations and therefore can instead of being so high on the highs and so low on the lows, it's just a steady voice has kind of been helpful for me.
I'm not sure I understood the highs and the lows.
Yeah, I
What do
just
you
feel
mean by
like I feel like in general at media it's
exaggerating.
It's very exaggerated on both ends that I've seen for me personally. I've seen it on both sides when it's just so temporary. It's like, what have you done the last couple weeks? It's like, I have one good Saturday in Phoenix and they're like, oh, so you're back. It's like, I shot one good round. Like, I mean, this is a thing I want to do for 20 years is play consistent golf. And in that, yeah, I've had some pretty high ups and some pretty low lows for my age, but it's just part of the learning curve, I think. And so I imagine it's just been exaggerated on both ends, and so there's no use in getting caught up in it.
And then secondly, during some of the bad struggle stretches, if you will, how much unsolicited advice did you get?
I mean, I'm not very good at responding to texts. I'm not very good. I don't read. I've kind of not exposed myself to reading anything that would come up about myself. So very little. I think the weirdest part is just when you're, out and about at a golf course or even at like a restaurant and someone's like, hey, hope you figure it out or something like that. I'm like, okay, I mean, it's golf. So that kind of, you just got to kind of brush and laugh it off and stick to your game plan and believe in yourself. I mean, bet on yourself, I've always done that and feel like that's paid off pretty well to this point. And if my next 8 years are like my last 8 years, I'd certainly sign up for that.
Ron on number 4.
And speaking of that, how much do you feel like the player you were when you were at your best? And is that even a fair measure? Is that what you measure yourself by, or is it something different?
I'm kind of at this point measuring myself off of feels and freedom, playing golf from a position where I feel comfortable stepping over this shot. I'm embracing this long iron into a green under pressure versus, oh shoot, where's this thing going to go? I think that's more versus like actually drawing back on results from previous years. Because to be honest, people always look at 2015. I was actually a better player in 2017, but everyone just looks at results. I had a lower scoring average. I was better tee to green. I was a better player. I just happened to, DJ wins in a playoff, or I'd have had another win there. Like just the timing of when it happened didn't lead to the amount of results like a couple more wins and another major in 15. So it's just, I'm more, it's more like playing with freedom for me, regardless of results, because I know if I'm playing with freedom that I have the confidence level and the skill set to be able to compete in the biggest tournaments. I mean, that's where I can draw back on previous times.
Remember, I think at Greensboro last year, you talked about making yourself hit shots you weren't comfortable with. As you've gotten to the point now where you're more comfortable doing that, or was that part of what you had to do?
Yeah, certainly holes here or there where I played them poorly. There's scar tissue, and stepping up and embracing those, and whether it works out or not is a big, that's part of Doug's first question on, where's the moment where it's like, it's those moments where you step up, you're like, all right, this shot, I hit out of bounds last year and I'm uncomfortable and nervous over it, but now I know what to do to make sure that doesn't happen. And then you stripe a couple of them and it's just you almost forget about the bad ones. You just draw back on the most previous ones.
Okay, we're going to zoom out for one more, Jordan. This is Mark. Mark, unmute yourself. You're up.
Yeah, Jordan, I was just curious. I know you haven't played the golf course yet, but are you showing up this week with 14 clubs, or do you got a bunch of options that you might put in depending on the day and the wind direction and, how certain tees are set up?
Yeah, I'm showing up with 14. I got on the range and actually asked JJ from Titleist if he could build a 3 or 2 iron that we could look at this afternoon. And then after hitting my hybrid and talking to a couple guys, we're straight into the wind, and the question would be, can I keep my hybrid down, compressed and low enough? And I got comfortable with that shot there, and so I don't think that's going to change because I think the hybrid can be very beneficial out of the rough, from what I hear. So I'm likely not changing anything in the bag. The only thing I ever do change is a driving iron instead of that hybrid, and it's typically when you're using it off of tees, like at the Open Championship quite a bit. So I don't think it's going to change, but I mean, I'll get out there and check it out, I guess.
Going to wrap it up here with Alex at 6.
You talked about scar tissue. How much scar tissue did you have up until 2015, and how much did you gain from after 2015 to now?
Again, 2017 was a better year than 2015, so I think that would be the point after that when it started to potentially have some where I kind of got off. I would say none. I mean, every year I got better than the previous one until 16 wasn't quite as good as 15, but it was still a really good year. Should have won the Masters and won a couple times and had a good Ryder Cup, that kind of stuff. And then 17 was, again, even better. I mean, probably the best overall golf that I ever played for a year. So, yeah, so there was really none. And then there's quite a bit. And then I think if anything, it can only make me a better player going forward. I know what I did well and what were weapons for me in the past that I didn't know. I just kind of played. But when I got under pressure, I got into tendencies and didn't really know why. And it's hard to explain to your coach because he's just seeing the reaction in the ball flight, but he doesn't know why it maybe felt different during the swing. And now I kind of am starting to figure out that situation. So I'm still quite a bit of ways away from where I want to be in my golf swing and in the performance and the feels. But it's getting closer, and the closer it gets, the more I'm able to trust those shots I was talking about, and the more that kind of gets rid of those, not only gets rid of the scar tissue, but can actually kind of prove advantageous under pressure. I mean, it was for how I kind of felt over the ball under pressure in San Antonio. I mean, I hit some of the better tee shots under pressure that I've ever hit just by knowing my game a little bit better and being able to compensate for those kind of tendencies that I have. So ideally, that just gets better and better.
Just a question. Is the ultimate goal eventually to not have any of that scar tissue remaining?
No, I mean, I think it shapes kind of who I am. I've proven to be very human. It's kind of fun. I mean, when I'm on it, when I've been on in the past, I've won tournaments by 8 shots out here, and that's obviously the goal. But kind of the ability to kind of shun off a bad shot and come back the next hole and make a long putt or something like that. Just like the grind is enjoyable when you're kind of on the positive momentum side of it. And I don't think it's getting rid of it. I think in general, if anything, I step up confidently and appreciate kind of where I've been, and it just makes me even more excited to kind of embrace those shots and pull them off. And then that's a even bigger confidence boost than if I just didn't have it at all, I guess. I haven't really thought about it that way.
Late submission from
Well,
Doug.
sorry, but I just got to thinking about last time this was at Kiowa. Where would you have been? Would you have been in school already? At
Yeah,
the bookstore?
I was in college.
Would you?
It was
school already?
August. I would have been. It would have been right before the U.S. Amateur, and I thought I was going to turn pro right after, and then I ended up going back to school for another semester.
Did that feel like a long time ago?
Yeah, it does. I remember watching a little bit of it, but I don't remember much about the golf course because Rory was, wasn't like great television to watch at the end, right? Which is the best case for the player, but it was pretty easy for him on the last hole, I'm sure. But yeah, I don't remember much of the golf course, but I remember it being played and Rory winning, and I remember the last putt and his reaction.